Frieren is one of the shows that I've been watching with my significant other this season. How have you been enjoying the show?
It's been a pretty good ride so far.
Alright. I thought this episode was probably one of the most uneventful so far. Just about every other episode has had like some big dramatic moment. I mean, the past few have been a bit more calm in that regard, but I still think most of them have had at least one big development.
Yeah.
I suppose this one also did, since we have a new party member, but most of it was spent just sort of contemplating and chilling around, it felt, which was totally fine by me. I think this tone is perfectly fine too.
Yeah, I feel like it's really showing like this show can do all of it.
Yeah, it's good that it has a wide spectrum of various tones and just not the same thing all the time. I've been thinking about that a lot because Jujutsu Kaisen that is airing now is just the same thing all the time, the entire show, and I'm just growing tired of it. Like, I mean, the animation and everything is cool, but it doesn't really reach its potential when it's just completely flat. It's the same all the time. There's no dynamic in the tone. It's just action all the time, with nothing in between, and it's like, I mean, it loses its impact after a while. So the fact that this show actually acknowledges the fact and realizes that there is value in having different expressions is very good, in my opinion.
It kind of feels like a bit more realistic too, like it's the whole journey.
Life overall isn't just all killer all the time. Like we have more mundane moments too, so I think it's good.
Yeah.
It feels much more natural and believable in a way. But yeah, so this episode starts with Frieren just flat out not helping this guy who's drowning in the mud for some reason.
I was actually so confused first, because I was like, did we miss something? Who is this guy? How did we meet him? And then he was just stuck in the mud.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good. I'd feel very taken care of if I was in his position, but I mean, it all worked out, I guess. She just needed some time.
Yeah, and I liked that one of her reasons was like, you're dirty. Yeah,
I mean, I can totally relate to that. I also wouldn't want to get my hands dirty. I mean, that's mud we're talking about. That's a pretty...
It was also kind of fun that he was like, yeah, but all adults are dirty.
Yeah, I mean, fair point, I guess. Anyway, they help him and bring him back to the village, and it's all good. And then he warns that they should be careful of poisonous animals, which is obviously foreshadowing to start getting bitten.
By this super cute snake, by the way.
Yeah, this was quite the snake, and the sound of this bite was also something else. Like it went pretty hard.
Yeah, and like it was like it had like a lion fur thing, but with leaves.
Yeah, it was cool. Not bad. Someone put in some effort into designing that one.
Yeah.
But they also mentioned that maybe Stark can just tough the poison out because Aizen could, and to talk about how we just could take a bunch of poisonous arrows like it was nothing, and we just get to see this brief moment where he's sitting down drinking, I think, and just having 3 arrows in his back.
I think it was more arrows, and they did mention that like the poison in the arrows would be able to take down the dragon.
Yeah, that guy was quite the unit, clearly. Holy shit. And for some reason, like this priest guy they rescued keeps coming out with these tiny household items, like these miniature-sized things, and I didn't really understand what the deal was with that, but it was certainly funny.
Yeah, like his brother is like, we need to like poverty down.
Yeah, something about money problems, or I don't know. I didn't really understand it.
But their bathtub was like hand sized.
But especially this scythe thing was like, I mean, you could hold it between your fingers.
Yes, it was like a necklace thing.
Yeah, it was cool. Maybe you could have like an earring like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, I mean, it seems like this party member is going to, or this dude is going to be a new party member that is going to be with us for at least a while going forward. And I think that's interesting because it's obviously going to change the entire dynamic in a meaningful way if we have a 4th main character with us for now.
Yeah.
But I will mention that I thought it was kind of weird that a good chunk of the episode is spent on just convincing him to join, which kind of felt like they were dragging things out for no reason. Like we already knew he was going to join because otherwise this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a way to drag it.
Also, I feel like I wouldn't have been too surprised if this show would have just...
Yeah, I was actually wondering as we were watching that this could very well have been one of these cases where this show would have done this obvious trope that would obviously lead to him joining anyway, but then just subvert it at the end because this show doesn't care about that shit.
Yeah.
But as it is, he did still join. I will say that I do think this was handled much better than most shows do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a very common theme in like music shows, for example, where the main characters need to spend like half of the show just getting convinced to start doing the thing that the show is all about.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it from the start, and it's so annoying to watch.
And especially in those cases, you usually like have all the members, you know that they will be like a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
intro will show.
because the opening will show them all doing the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of if it's gonna happen. You already know these people are gonna get together. But some shows spend 6 or 7 episodes just convincing everyone to just start doing the music things, and it's such an annoying trend or trope or whatever you want to call it. That I've never really understood it. So I probably have some like innate aversion to this way of like presenting characters overall. I think. But it made a lot more sense with this character because he was clearly established as just being this tired old dude who didn't care about this shit. Yeah. Even though he kind of secretly did, but you know, I mean, it wasn't as annoying or obnoxious as many other shows do it, so I didn't really mind it too much, but I still think it seemed kind of out of place for this series overall. Yeah,
but I also feel like it might not have worked with like another kind of character.
Yeah.
But for me at least, I really like these kinds of tired old guy
I also
characters.
have some kind of soft spot for this, because I relate to it, that I feel that this is kind of how I am or how I would want to be or whatever. Maybe it's something along those lines.
Is it my taste showing through?
Huh?
Is it my taste showing through?
Who knows? But yeah, anyway, Stark goes to try to recruit this guy and gets scammed and out of all of his items in the process, I guess. He gets invited to some gambling match and just totally gets destroyed, it seems.
Yeah, loses everything.
Which obviously then wakes Frieren, who is sleeping above, and Frieren has this absurd expression while sleeping.
It's so cute!
Pretty good. She's really good at having these like weird moe kind of expressions sometimes. Like I know this is a kind of serious drama action show, but like Frieren can have a lot of expressions sometimes that really feel like it's straight out of a moe show, like a slice of life kind of thing. And I really like that because that's where I feel the most at home with anime overall. So it feels reminiscent to like my home genre, so to speak. So
yeah,
really
and I
nice.
feel like it's really showing that she has a lot of expressions.
Yeah.
And they doesn't have to be like a certain kind.
Yeah, that's also another thing that even though this show can be very dramatic and serious and like violent things can happen, but it doesn't do that all the time. It doesn't just how do you call it? Like it isn't obsessed with making you feel that it's dark and dramatic and everything is terrible and it's all this super hopeless world scenario thing. It has a little bit of everything, which I think is really great.
Yeah, and I feel like it has like it's pretty tasteful with it.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels more like they're doing what feels right for the show. Yeah,
exactly. I think a lot of these like dramatic action shows, especially those that try to tackle darker themes, often are very averse to having any other kind of tone because maybe they feel that it ruins the atmosphere or something. But I think it just adds a lot to it when there is this wide spectrum of different expressions and different tones that the show actually goes through. It makes
everything have a lot more weight to it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, contrasts will always be an important part of these kind of things, because if things are just sad and dark all the time, then the weight of sadness will eventually stop lessen because we don't have anything to compare it to. It's when we get something really bad happening in contrast with something very good happening that we really acknowledge like the weight, the difference between these two states. Yeah, just like if you write a song with only minor chords, it won't really sound all that dramatic because the major chords are what makes the minor chords hit hard. Yeah. Which is probably a really weird thing that nobody will understand, but whatever.
That's okay.
Right, where were we?
The blow kiss.
Oh yeah, right. that I guess that also kind of ties into the whole expression thing. I mean, we've had just a few episodes ago, Frieren just had someone take their own life.
Yeah.
And here she is blowing a kiss to this tired old dude.
And he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting.
And the others are like, this shouldn't be this hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally on their side, in some sense at least, I guess. But I really like that we have both sides to this story, that it isn't just one kind all the time. But this blow kiss scene was really, really something else.
Yeah, they really like built up to it.
Yeah, exactly. Since she's walking out of there and like she's getting ready to really convince him and do her secret seduction technique or whatever she called it.
Yeah.
And it's just this relatively tame kind of thing, but like the fact that so much emphasis is placed on it makes it really stand out in a weird way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was really funny. It was
and
really
you can
cool.
really see like the heart doesn't even reach
Yeah,
halfway
exactly. That
to him.
probably illustrates the fact that he doesn't give a shit, which was also really funny. I mean, he had the best kind of reaction, I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good. This new guy seems pretty fun, and I'm sure he's gonna be a pretty good addition to the party overall. It seems like he has his like carefree and just I'm done with everything kind of attitude is pretty good. I really like this kind of character, so I'm sure he's gonna be able to add a lot of cool, fun, new things to the dynamic of the group.
Yeah, and I like how she's just questioning why he's hated.
He's hated?
Yeah, because I am bad with names.
Who questions what now?
Like the new guy.
The new guy, is he hated?
Yeah!
By who?
By Fern.
Fern doesn't like the new guy.
No, because he's doing gambling things. So there was a lot of moments when he's like, what's her deal?
Oh.
And I feel like that might be like a fun thing going
Oh,
forward.
yeah, sure. But I mean, who gives a shit? It's no big deal.
And maybe it would be good for Stark to have some.
Oh yeah. I'm sure
male
Stark,
support.
maybe he will appreciate being not the only male guy in this crazy party with an elf who falls asleep and someone else who just doesn't really understand.
He's the mother of the group.
Yeah, basically. Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna appreciate having some manner of sanity to lean on, I guess. But yeah, it was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of how this group dynamic changes.
It was mentioned that he wasn't gonna be with them for very long. He was gonna be with them for a while, I think he said, halfway somewhere, because he wasn't going all the way to the Tengoku place that the others are going to. He was gonna look for his friend somewhere.
Maybe kind of felt more like I'm not committing completely, but I will go with you.
Yeah, we'll see. But I guess we're gonna have him with us for at least a few episodes, so it will be cool to see how this develops and how it works out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And how they will do with getting money for his alcohol and.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's his problem. I mean.
Are you sure?
If he loses all of his stuff.
I feel like they could make a thing out of it.
I guess. I suppose. But yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Fun episode. Thanks for talking about episodes with me.
Thank you for letting me.
Bye.
Bye.